It's Week 10 of the National Football League. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Saints and the Vikings. And it's coming up next.
Just about time to rock as Toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. Keyshawn Nixon now going to bring it out of his end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. So here are the Saints with a long field ahead. Bringing them out is the 12th-year pro seeking a return to Pro Bowl form, Russell Wilson.
Now, the meeting we had with him this week, that's one of the briefer ones we've ever had, isn't it?
He wasn't too happy after last week.
Not happy. Really determined to play a whole lot better, and he really can't play a whole lot worse. He's got to go out and show the team that the goods that he exhibited early are still there. Otherwise, he could lose the confidence that they have in him.
Yeah, hoping to get rid of that interception bug. They'll run it for the first time with Dameon Pierce. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Steps away to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Pierce now up the middle. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. You look at this defense for the Vikings. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And you see the starting unit here, but really, you're going to see a lot of different personnel.
There he goes, right side. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And what a letdown after a huge play. He's going to pull this in and then set sail for the end zone. And he nearly made it, too. But he's going to be tracked down just short of the goal line. So a big play there that's going to set him up with 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Pierce is in. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was Dameon Pierce closing things out with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by the youngster, the rookie, their QB.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
A check-in on the numbers last week for Robinson. 11 carries, 56 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. but they've lost 2 straight games. So they still want to do that, but they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up. I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game, but this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going down. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it's second down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
Check, check. No.
Robinson up the middle. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
I'm not lying. Check, Panther. Roll, go.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. On the bootleg, Stroud. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Puka Nacua, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Extra point by McCann, up and good, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Nixon now from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend, but you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here?
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up, and the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
Ball start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
And the slot man goes in motion left. And Pierce gets it again on second down. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. These 2 teams all tied after 1. The Saints with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Now it's Wilson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. He's to the 15. Touchdown, New Orleans. Tim Patrick, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Saints have taken the lead. Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. From his end zone, Wilson. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. C.J. Stroud and the offense back out there. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and solo moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route too.
As we've seen over the years, offense coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover or put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked.
Hold the ready.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Stroud. For Marshall, that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a 1st down.
Hey, look, flash.
Now Stroud. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. And Stroud now to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Ready.
And they'll go play action here with Stroud. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies are trying to force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Cameron Sample with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. McCann's kick up and good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Defensively, they were in the 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Wilson. To Pierce, they set up the screen. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first.
First down, New Orleans.
Play action. It's Wilson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. On second down, Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Gonzalez's kick is good, and that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Check, check. No, no.
Second down and a run by Robinson. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down.
Stroud looking to throw. Looking deep here for Dobbs.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10.
Offense back out there along with Dameon Pierce.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted.
And they have the football and will set up shop at the 43-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster, 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I take it, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
On 1st down, here's Stroud. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now. Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts.
Stroud now on 1st and 10.
As they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. McCann's kick is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We start with two legendary NFL franchises and winners of 6 of the first 14 Super Bowls, Green Bay and Pittsburgh. And it's the Steelers out in front in the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for Brock Purdy. We'll stay in the AFC North as we head over to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paycor Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. Derek Carr has a couple of touchdown passes there. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And it was the visiting Carolina Panthers who were victorious in that one. Desmond Ridder, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. We saw Dameon Pierce put together a strong performance in that first half. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Ready, break. Let's go now.
Stroud out of the gun here. He finds his man, complete. It's Hudson. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Second down and 6 now. Hand off now to Robinson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Now they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Stroud to throw it. That's out wide here for Robinson. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49. A gain of just 2.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackle and held it to an okay game.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. play action now. Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he goes down at the 26. A pickup of 13, and that last play began at the 13. First down. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. That's complete to Dissly, the tight end. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it'll be second down. Throwing is Wilson. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. They go play action with Wilson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Making that play on the pass rush, that's Devontae Wyatt.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. Third and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Ready.
Here's Stroud. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hudson. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be second down. Throwing now is Stroud. Completed out left to Dobbs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now 2nd and 3.
Alert! Smash!
They'll run this one right with Robinson. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Come on.
Final minute now of the third quarter. Stroud sets up the play action. Going to be taken in here by McCool. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Robinson not going anywhere. He'll lose a couple back to the 6. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
Ready, set.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. Third and goal, Stroud to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up fourth down here.
Here we go, set. Ready.
Fourth down, fourth quarter. Here's Stroud being chased out left. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. C.J. Stroud, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Vikings have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter.
Nothing like understanding where your escape hatches are as a quarterback. Here he's looking, but he knows he doesn't want to force anything. So when nothing avails itself, he slips past the rushers, takes it right up the middle, and takes it into the end zone.
Yellow, line, check white, check pink.
Extra point by McCann, up and good, and that gives him a 3-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Nixon now from his end zone. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's second down at a yard. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. Give him 32 on the play.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. Winds up a very good call there defensively to challenge that one. Is that now will wind up an incomplete pass. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. First down, they go right back to Pierce. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. In motion goes Patrick. Now he's going to get it on the jet sweep. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Pierce takes it straight ahead. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Now Wilson. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. First and 10, it's Pierce. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. A tackle by Cole Holcomb. From the 42-yard line, here's the 2nd and 9. Wilson. Gets the dump off to Pierce. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And 3rd and 8 now. And everybody thinking about the possible field goal on 4th. It would be 58 yards from here. Now Wilson. He'll get this one to Patrick. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You want to put together a long drive? You've got to be able to convert on 3rd down, and they've done exactly that on this one. Sure enough, came up with another conversion right there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Wilson. Finding his big
receiver Patrick over the middle. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That's good for 28 yards. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Terrell Edmonds comes flying in from safety for the sack.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce. It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. This crowd doing all they can. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Pierce. Gets around him. Let's think about this stage of the second half. You're taking the chip shot field goal, right?
Boy, I'd love to be on the headset right now between head coach and play caller because you know it's a heavy conversation right here because I'm guaranteed the play caller is like, Coach, I've got this. I've got to play for this one. But the smart play, kick the field goal, take the chip shot, 3 points.
Yeah, tie the game. Gonzalez's kick is good. And with a little more than a minute to go, we are all tied. So a big kick to get this back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
Pass complete there to Nakua. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Here's 2nd down and 3. Here's Stroud. This is Robinson, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now.
Get it!
Now Stroud. For Marshall, that's complete. There he goes, left side. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th. Obviously a huge touchdown for their team, but a big touchdown for a rookie quarterback here to be able to break the tie in the 4th quarter.
And he just shook off all the pressure, too. Because when you think about it, tie ball game, rookie quarterback, most of them are thinking, don't make a mistake. Instead, this young man just said, I'll make a play.
McCann for the point after. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it's capped off by the late touchdown. It's a 7-point lead here in the final minute of the game. Nixon now from his end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So Russell Wilson in the offense. Down by 7. A little over 30 seconds remaining. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. Able to find Jones. And 5 yards, not going to cut it here. That clock continues to run. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. That's complete to Pierce. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Wilson. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Throwing now is Wilson. He completes it to Jones.
And he'll wind up getting about 8, but the clock will run. Also, don't forget, it's now 3rd down. Now Wilson. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
They absolutely had to take some chances downfield trailing here in the 4th quarter.
So why not go 4 verticals, send the guys downfield, say make a play?
And that's one of the favored routes of offensive coordinators. You know why? Because receivers can be open at any point running that route.
Here's 1st down.
Here's Wilson.
That's complete to Pierce.
And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end.
Partner, what a finish to this one. I mean, this offense, they had it down there inside the red zone, but ultimately couldn't execute that final snap to find the end zone.
Yeah, they're going to walk away from this one, and you know what's going to go through their heads the entire time until they get to play again? If we can only have that final snap to do over one more time, maybe with a different play call.
So for the Vikings, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Saints, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll get a late bye next week, which might be coming at the right time. And they'll be back in action in Week 12. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
It's Week 11 of the NFL, and the spotlight is on George Kittle. He really burned the defense 1 week ago with a 133-yard game. It's the Broncos and the Vikings on Sunday night primetime.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on A.A.T.S Sports.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive.
Bringing them out is the #1 overall pick this year, Heisman Trophy winner at Alabama, Bryce Young.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. Young now. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. Catch number 44 on the year. It's a first down. First carry for Nick Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 22 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
That throw by Young incomplete.
You look at this defense for the Vikings.
Currently #1 in the NFL against the run.
And that play right there shows exactly why they're so good against the run. Held the line of scrimmage, held the point of attack, and stuffed him for no gain.
Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 28. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb down at the 25. This defense for the Vikings, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Chubb will take it in. Touchdown, Denver.
For as good as Nick Chubb is in the open field, he's every bit as good when they line him up down near the goal line. He's a speed back between the 20s, but a power back down close, and he forces his way into the end zone.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. So that drive in total 8 plays. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by a guy certainly still trying to prove himself here in the league, the young rookie quarterback.
For every rookie prospect, there are always nerves involved in this moment. Running your team out to start a game. But there's a reason they brought him in. We're willing to make him their starter today. They believe he can overcome those nerves and lead his team to a victory. We saw him do it at the collegiate level and really make himself into a leader and someone you can envision doing the exact same thing here in the NFL.
Let's go now.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Stroud completes this out wide.
And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
When you look at this Bronco defense,
They come into top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
This secondary has really developed into one of the strengths of this team. They diagnose, they cover, they run, they hit. What a nice team.
And he will have a Vikings first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
Check, Panther. Roll.
Here's Stroud. Going to be taken in here by Nakua.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 4 catches, 58 yards, and a score.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Stroud's throw here taken in by Ingram.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory. Down at the 33.
19 Tiger.
Stroud to throw it.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Back to the ground with Robinson.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You foresee incompletion and a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And now the throw here is incomplete, and with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. McCann's kick up and good.
And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They're trying to get back on track following the loss to Buffalo a week ago. But the good news, they've got the lead right now here in the football 1st and 10.
10 cycles. Set, go.
Young.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check white. Check pink.
They go up the middle with Chubb. Fights through him.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them
can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Black swap.
Second down, here's Chubb again. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. Hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up.
We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Off the play fake, Young.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Now a second down throw for Young. Connects with Kittle underneath. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Green, yellow, one.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back.
4th down, and they take to the air, which really isn't a major surprise. But how about the coverage? They're able to bat it down.
The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game.
They are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it. Can't afford any more missteps, though.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. Play action. Here's Stroud. He'll connect on the out route with Ingram.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Throwing now is Stroud. He targets Ingram for another grab.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Here we go. Shot.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Broncos' 49-yard line.
Ready.
Quick throw by Stroud, complete out wide. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. And remember, the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play.
We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. Robinson will try to pick it up.
They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
On is Presley Harvin now as he'll send this one away.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
We'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Here comes 3rd down and 7.
Blaster, six. Ready, go.
Young will set to throw. And that is incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away.
It's fielded at the 45. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
On the ready. Ready.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10.
And his pass incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Check that.
And meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Stroud out of the gun here.
Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score.
Here's Presley Harvin now.
They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And Denver getting set to take the field.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with a slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Green, yellow, line, check white.
Now here's Young. That's complete right side to Lazard. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Ready.
Now 2nd and 5.
Ready.
Young to throw it.
This one brought in by Jefferson.
So the completion good for just 3. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. Again, it's Young.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And Young's throw there incomplete.
Well, they've been back on the heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Okay, ready.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Set.
Young now from the 50. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Young's throw pulled in by Kittle. And they are into field goal range now as he's got the 1st down at the 26.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And Gay knocks this one through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where you see the final score there. Derek Carr, strong in the win, as his guys run their record to 8-2 with the W. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they were losers in their ball game to the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Patrick Mahomes leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, on Monday Night Football, one of the games of the year, the Super Bowl rematch. Eagles, Chiefs, Arrowhead, 7:15 Central Time. We saw a solid first half out of the workhorse Nick Chubb. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. From his end zone, Wilson. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. Again, it's Robinson. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10.
Let's go now.
Young on 1st down. And Thomas has it. From the 21, here's 2nd and 5. Now Young. Complete. Jefferson the target.
But there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 52 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter.
Ready?
Now a 1st down throw for Young. Connects with Kittle underneath, and he goes out right around the 39.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 2nd down, Young. Thomas has got it, complete. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
Here we go. Here we go. Set, cut.
Now Young. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 42.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Go! Hut, hut.
Out of the gun, it's Young.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
To the air once more, Young. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Rashad Weaver from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
Ready.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Open man, he's got Jefferson across the formation.
It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
So an 8-play drive gets him down there, but play number 9, that winds up a missed field goal.
And they definitely move the ball well. That's a drive where you hate to come away with nothing.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Now here's Stroud. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
That is caught. He's going to have the first down and then some.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. 39 yards.
As a general manager, you're counting on your 1st and 2nd round draft picks to have a big-time impact on your team. But where you make your bones, rounds 3 through 7. If you can find a few diamonds in the rough there, develop them, then you've got something going, and we're seeing one right here.
Yeah, plays like that lead me to believe that they found a diamond in the rough.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver.
Here we go.
Now 2nd and 9.
It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th.
Play action. Stroud now.
Eluding the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Play action. Here's Stroud.
And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt.
McCann's kick is good.
And that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Denver's offense now set to go.
They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, A field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. That throw by Young incomplete. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw, Young. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
Check right. Check pink.
Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
Holding. Offense.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Young to throw it. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he fields it at his own 45. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Now Stroud. That's complete to Robinson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Rookie quarterback, rookie running back. They team up there to pick up the 1st.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
On 1st down, here's Stroud. Throw left side complete. That's Hudson. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's go.
Robinson up the middle, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. 4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Stroud. He's got his target. That's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed, too.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Puka Nacua, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken a 4th quarter lead. Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the 4th quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
Extra point by McCann, up and good, and that gives him a 3-point lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. The pressure is on now. They're being shut out here in the 2nd half after a decent 1st half offensively. And they need their best drive of the game right here. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. Looking to throw, Young. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. Young. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. Here's 1st and 10. Young will set to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. Here comes second down. Now Young. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
If you've been waiting all day for this Sunday nighter's been worth the wait. It's third down here. Young to throw. And that is incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Now Young. It's complete. Lazard. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Here's Young. Completes this to Jefferson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Second and 6 coming up.
Ready?
Young. Throw right side here going to be incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep the offense moving.
2 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's a 1st and 10 now. Meanwhile, the throw by Young was knocked away and incomplete. A little more than 40 seconds to play. Now 2nd and 10. Chubb will get the call running left. And a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Here's Young. Connects with Kittle underneath. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Here's second down. Now Young. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You have to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick here is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And he returns this to the 22. And now out comes Minnesota. Well, they fought hard to reach this point, Charles, and now what an opportunity. They've got the ball first, a chance to take this overtime win away from the hostile crowd.
And you know, as the quarterback steps into the huddle, the first thing he's telling his team is, remember, we need 6, not 3. So we don't need a good drive. We need a great drive. And this is what they've been planning for. It's time to execute and take it downfield, even against all these odds.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Stroud off the play fake. And that is incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face, good coverage of not just the...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Daquan Jones fighting his way home to get the sack. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
So no gain on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down. Well, the defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we've got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game, and boy, they did it well.
It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And they will take over first and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points. And now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick 6, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. Powers through, and he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A gain of 3, second down. And now a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Chubb. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 94 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. 2 minutes left in this overtime session and still all tie. So from the 36 now, first and 10. And again, it's Chubb. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
That's complete to Troutman, right side. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. So the game-winning touchdown came through the air in overtime. 4 quarters wasn't enough. We were treated to a really good one, weren't we, Parker?
That we were, and I just love being able to be witness to a game like this. All the way through. Who's going to win it? Oh, what? We're getting overtime? Great for us. A lot of tension on the field. Very tough. Not surprised it ended with a passing touchdown. That's the way we play in the NFL. But the execution was pretty darn good.
So for the Broncos, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they'll get another home date next week as the Browns will come to town. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports.